Coach Keyton Crawford here on the Crawford Podcasting Network. We're here on the corner of Hagedorn, Grand River in East Lansing, Michigan, stone's throw away from Michigan State University, where the Spartans took on the Indiana Hoosiers, the upstart 9-0 now.
9-0.
Indiana Hoosiers. I don't think they've ever been 9-0. Even on that 67 team with Harry Gonzo, John Eisenberger, and Jake Butcher, they lost the game mid-season. They didn't get to 9-0.
So last week 8-0 was the best start. Now it's 9-0. Now we'll find
Kurt
out.
Signetti. Google me, I win. That's it. Google me, I win. That was his creed at Big Ten Media Days, and we snickered in the back of the room, and I thought, oh, this guy's a goofball. He ain't no goofball.
Goofball now. Who's getting the last laugh right now?
Go IU, fight. Wow.
Right.
Wow. Anyway, so right now, I think you and I should have a two-person support group. We need to support each other because our teams totally suck right now. They got blown out at home. Michigan State maybe a little bit more, but at least they had to lead it. You had to lead.
We did something that no one else has been able to do in Indiana all year. Take the lead.
That was a come-from-behind 47-10 victory for Indiana. Come from behind. Okay, Coach Kerry, Keyton, your hot takes from what happened at Spartan Stadium yesterday.
Besides the fact that it was not Peacock, so maybe a whole lot of people didn't get to watch.
That's a good thing.
You know, I would like to say that I'm still encouraged, but after yesterday, I was a bit discouraged.
So he would like to say he's encouraged, but he's not.
I just can't.
Encouraged.
Yesterday was bad. Like we started out early, but like once we get out of those scripted plays, and then they make adjustments. Like, are we making adjustments to continue to do what we're doing? I was happy that we were able to throw the ball down the field a little bit. Nick Marsh made his plays, but
we might have Nick Marsh on Michigan's team.
That defense is for Indiana is the real deal because we were not able to run the ball, and maybe the scheme. Some of the stuff was blocking scheme was not good for us, but. They're just better up front and whipped us. There's nothing we could do about it.
Yeah, it was.
Then the turnovers didn't help, and then the punt, blah blah blah. Then everything just snowballed. But
let's get some injuries now.
Yeah, the fact that we were unable to run the football like we have the past 2 weeks against Iowa and Michigan, who have really good defensive fronts, that was problematic for us, and then everything's
inability to run football. Interesting you say that. And I'm going to probably segue back to both of our two debacle type games. So I asked Sharon Moore after the game about the running game. All this thing or lack thereof. Complementary football. You have to be able to throw, you got to be able to run, set up to throw, vice versa. And I asked, Bo Schembechler, and I'm sorry, I'm going back to the 70s and 80s and everything. They had goals, team goals every week. I mean, we did, We have. Yeah, you had them when I played in Michigan State. No turnovers. Yeah. And one of Bo Schembechler's thing was 200 yards rushing. That was like a core competency, minimum, or maybe even 250. I mean, they wanted to get a $150 on the air. I mean, that was later on, but I mean, it was no turnovers and be able to run the football, leave 200 plus. And I asked Sharon Moore, about what their goals were. I said, we don't get into that. Just whatever it takes to win the football game. Well, you can't win the football game without running the freaking football. You can't. It's not going to work. And
it's not functional.
I'll tell you why. Because the aerial game is so fragile. Anyway, because you got to march. And you're having to use gimmickry, like they did against Michigan State.
Sure.
And they tried, on a 4th down and 3. That was a play where they ended around and throwback pass.
Kind of Philly special, which also leads me to the fact that these people have to. You're putting these kids at risk by putting this stuff. That kid could have really got hurt running into that camera. I got a problem with that.
Well, Orgy,
the sidelines are so tight at Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah.
And you're sticking big old giant cameras down there, and that kid ran into that. That could have really been bad.
Well, not only that, I mean, on that, schematically, so you're running Samaj Morgan on a second flip, and he's throwing the ball running to his left towards the boundary. On the boundary side, there's not a lot of room to get separation, and your the ball went way out of bounds.
Almost in the bleachers.
That epitomized how desperate this team is right now. I had a couple players text me last night that I correspond with, way smarter than me because they've been inside the walls just like you have out here at Michigan State, and they're educating me, and they're just, when you have to rely on deception football to stay in the game. That's bad.
Well, that's what we talked about last week. They used them all up last week against Michigan State. They didn't have any left. That's what they came up with. Not good.
Back to Michigan State. So after the Michigan State-Michigan game, I didn't think Michigan State, you thought they took a step back, Michigan State did against Michigan. And I didn't at the time. But now I realize how bad Michigan is. The fact they didn't beat Michigan last week, they took a step back, not just being able to beat Michigan last week, with their ability to run the football as they did with Nate Carter.
Now dominated everything except the scoreboard.
Yeah. So they couldn't get, but this thing yesterday back here in East Lansing, I looked at this, I picked Michigan State to the upset special. I just thought Nate Carter was the best back I saw all year in that stadium so far. And I thought, man, and that was his best game. Everybody quantified that, but I thought they were going to pull an upset. So I'm looking at, I'm in the box, looking at all my threads and everything, all the scores, 10-0. About ready to text my radio TV partner Jack. See, told you, this is going to be, and all of a sudden I looked up again and it was 23-10. I mean, wow. Or 21-10 at halftime, 21-10 at halftime. I couldn't believe it. What happened? What happened?
We got out of those scripted plays that we knew would probably have success, and then reality set in.
2 interceptions for Aiden Child.
The tip ball. I mean, he threw it. I mean, there was people there. He didn't see the kid coming across. I mean, I get that. But again, those guys, they're good football players.
They are.
And they were everywhere they were supposed to be, and they were angry when they got there.
And that's cause for pause because Indiana, folks, was 4-8 last year. They bring a new coach in here who goes to a basketball game at Assembly Hall trying to rev the crowd up, and this place is flat. So he starts barking out, Purdue sucks, Ohio State sucks, Michigan sucks. It's a club. And he thought he had to do it because he had to generate some momentum. Goes out and plugs 25, 27 transfer portal kids. And
12 or 14. 12 of his own. 7 of which are starting on defense.
Well,
right
I mean,
now.
And there's of those 25 transfer portal kids, there's mid-teens are relevant players.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. 7 of those kids are starters from James Madison that won.
Yeah.
So that's the key in my opinion. Those kids are winners.
Yeah.
They know how to win.
They come to India. Those fans are like, "What the hell is this happening?" I mean, they're used to waiting for basketball season.
So now all their fanboys are jumping on, and they're just popping off. Which look, like it's 1 out of 100 years. I mean, I get it. I mean, you need to be happy. Don't get me. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Support you, whatever. But remember that if it goes back the other way next year or whatever, because it's all secular. Don't jump off the wagon. Stay there and support your kids. Don't just be there.
Die-hard fans, you got to stay with your team. And the core fans do, but Indiana, do you think they're licking their chops when the Wolverines come to town? They've beat them Indiana's only beaten Michigan, I think, once in 40 years. I mean, they beat them in 87. And then I think there's been one other time. I think it was a COVID year. And other than that, I think that's it. And that
they got to go to the shoe this weekend, so we'll find out.
Who has to go to the shoe? No, Michigan's going to. No. That's no. Michigan's going to Indiana on Saturday.
Oh.
And
have that intel.
Let's just say they're girding their loins when those winged helmets come through the tunnel.
Oh, that could be. That might not be good for them.
That could be what? How bad do you think that will be?
Well, okay, let's put it this way. my boys was crying to me because the Ducks are my second favorite team. I've loved the Ducks for a long time.
Why do you love the Ducks?
Uniforms.
So something
I like
as frivolous and shallow as uniforms.
Absolutely.
Gets you go.
I love when Keyton Smith was there, they're wearing tread plate and doing things different than everybody else. I love being different.
So I'm looking at some up in the box, and Oregon's warming up, and the sun.
You already knew when they came
out. Okay. When they come with the chrome helmet, so I have to pull my sunglasses out because the sun glaring off those. It looked like the bumpers on a lot of the vintage cars of Coach Kerry and Keyton.
Absolutely.
It looked like they were plugged in.
But when I looked this week and saw what the Ducks were going to be wearing, I said, "Oh, they're wearing the chromes. Oh, it's going to be ugly.
Wearing the chromes. They got that Simonized wax, that chrome cleaner."
I thought Tennessee was in trouble yesterday because Kentucky came out in the chromes too. It just didn't have enough juice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was. They scored. My buddies was dogging me out. Oh, you guys scored with 35 seconds to go in the game, whatever. Like, okay, what are they supposed to do? They're trying. First of all, they're trying to keep that #1 ranking. So.
Oh, I didn't have any problem with that. I mean, Michigan just stop them. Come on.
Anybody who's a football person knows. No, your job is to stop me, not me stop myself. But Signetti was throwing the rock all over the place at the end of 30.
Well,
30 plus, so
Signetti
doesn't care.
Okay, Signetti has 4th down and 1 on his own 30. He's up by 37, and he goes for it. Now, I saw some Michigan State people were upset by it. They shouldn't be upset by it. You're going to stop this guy, and you're going to have the ball in almost 4 down or in the red zone.
About it. Do something about it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about being upset.
This guy's amazing.
So, if let's just say, if he gets a chance next week, if he can score a half 100 on Michigan, he's going to score a half 100 or more.
Well, let me tell you something. The big test for back to Michigan. A lot of people upset right now. One good, the recruiting's going good, and and it looks like the noise coming out of Michigan's got to ramp their NIL up another 15. I think they're like at 11 million. They got to get their mid-20s to 30 million in their NIL money. A&M, which didn't work out last night, they got blown out. South Carolina, the Gamecocks. Yeah, they got busy. That was Michigan. They got to get in that category. So you got to get players. Plus, you got 2 coordinators that got to go. They got. I really think so. This is not working out. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm playing fanboy right now. Kirk Campbell and Wink Martindale, the game show, not the game show host. And then these positions. I mean,
Elliot.
Well, who does he get there?
When you go out and you just get it. I mean, Jim Harbaugh, remember in 2020 after the COVID year, Michigan looked like the program was totally tanking, okay? Totally tanking. And he was forced to make hires. He made great hires, and it worked. This is where Sherrone Moore in after year one, is going to have to make it. That's just my perception sitting right now, because I think there is a chance they could lose the Northwestern game. Because that game, they're going to lose. They play Indiana, okay, and then they have a bye, and then they got Northwestern before Ohio State. Well, they get smashed in the IU game. They'll get smashed in Bloomington and Columbus. But that Northwestern game sits in the middle, senior day, and no one. I mean, there'll be a lot of no-shows, especially if the weather's bad. That's going to be an interesting dynamic how that game goes. And if Northwestern, they went to Maryland and beat the Terps 37-10. Northwestern shows up. I mean, they're not that good, but they're going to show up. They're going to play hard.
Coach proved that last year.
Northwestern's almost like a service academy because they're going to play hard every snap. That's the way that's that program.
And that's how they win.
Yeah.
That's what he did last year.
Yeah.
You know, he took over that debacle.
Yeah.
Where 7-5 got him to a bowl game last year.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah. Well, anyway.
But yeah, no. there's trouble looming for both.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, thank God basketball season opens for Michigan State Monday night, and also for Michigan. Michigan's playing Cleveland State. I think Michigan owns plays Cleveland State Monday night. MSU opens with Monmouth.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the Niagara.
And Niagara. Their first 6 games are at home, Michigan State. And then they got Hunter Dickinson and the Kansas Jayhawks are coming.
Will they play? Was it Chicago this year?
Oh yeah. That's where that is. Yeah.
One of those places.
Yeah. That's not it. Yeah. Or Indianapolis, one of the two. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So we'll just have to. We got a bye week next week. Guarantee Michigan State will not lose it. Promise.
Good.
Yeah, you're good. Okay.
Well, maybe we could get healthy because I don't know how the risk is. So.
Yeah, Aiden Childs hurt, Brantley hurt, somebody else hurt. You got banged up.
We have some issues.
Okay. More importantly, the East Lansing Trojans jumping out of the gate, smashing.
Yeah, smashing.
You play Milford, like 43-7 or something like that.
Well, yeah.
It was 36-0. Yeah.
It was a prime example, a proving point of, you get your chance, you need to take advantage of your chance.
Yeah.
Don't get in the game and not be able to block and not be able to take care of the ball.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it makes it look like it was a game when we whooped them kids pretty good.
Yeah. So you're taking on the Dexter Dreadnoughts. The Dreadnoughts, good program.
Very good. They look very good on offense. It's going to be a big challenge for us this week.
They beat Saline on forfeit. Saline had to forfeit that game.
Yeah.
Player ineligibility. I don't know how they did it.
I don't buy it. I mean, they beat them on the field.
I mean, Dexter and Saline are the two power programs out of Ann Arbor, and so that'll be a test on the road. Absolutely. You're playing the road, and I think you'll get it done. Feeling about it.
I'd like to, what we do. Like I said, it's going to definitely be a challenge because they definitely got some skilled kids and they do some good stuff on offense. It's going to be a challenge for our defense, but we do what we do a lot on offense causes lots of people problems, and we got 0 and 5 back there. And they haven't seen anybody like that all year. Just like Milford hasn't seen anybody like that.
Let me make an observation about Jace Clarizio, a future Spartan. So you talk about the future. Michigan State's should be excited about that kid. Not big, but I'm telling you what, and this is from my left field perspective. From the Everett game on, he just seems to be running harder. I mean, he's so explosive.
Yeah. Well, there was, there's been some back and forth, and some woe me, here's and there's and whatnot, and Coach had a nice little one-on-one with him, and I'm gonna keep it real with all of them, and I'll tell him like, hey man, that's
why I love it. You keep it real.
You're not running like a Big Ten running back, son.
You told me.
Absolutely.
How long ago was that?
It was last year and going into this year. Like, there's a certain standard that you have to run. Like,
I'm telling you what, he is freaking fast.
Yeah.
He is fast.
And he gets close and he drops a hammer when he needs to. And
he can lower the pad level and serve it up.
That's what he's supposed to do.
Saw that in the
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
There's times that, when I told him, like, you don't need to take some of those. I mean, you can go out of bounds, that's okay. But if you feel you need to let somebody know, by all means, do what you need to do.
I'm just guessing that Dexter hasn't seen a running back like James.
No.
That's my guess.
Like I said, Milford had me. You got to up close and personal.
Yeah. Milford, East Lansing made Milford look unathletic. Fair statement.
A couple of years ago when we played them, they got lucky because it was a downpour and sideways rain.
I remember that.
It was still 27-0, but they didn't get the real deal like they got Friday.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
They got to see it up close. So.
I was happy for the Trojans and move on. Good luck. Friday night, down there,
7 o'clock.
Down there at Dexter. So until next time, Coach Keyton and Crawford. Hopefully, teams will turn around and end on a more positive note. But for the Wolverines with Indiana
Well,
Ohio
you
State
just got to
went-
keep getting better every week, and I
Yeah.
don't know if we got better this week.
No, took a step back, but you got 2 weeks to prepare for Illinois, which is, let's say, beatable.
So after Michigan, it went straight downhill.
Yeah, that's right.
Better put them leather helmets back on.
Get them leather helmets on. Those are you
them
can
red-
cool
get
you,
them- get
you
them
can
red
cool
Granges.
your way to
Right.
victory, man. Looking like Red Grange out there,
Red Granges
77.
back out because right now it's not so good.
All right, until next time, folks. Have a great week
Go green, go Trojans.
and go blue.